you see that? Did you see that? This is so fantastic, guys. That was cool. Look at this fantastic place, guys. This is such a birding place. There's a river called Hoelva coming out here and into the ocean. And there's also a lot of kelp and seaweed, seagrass coming in from the ocean and rotting on the beaches there. So the stony beaches. So it's a perfect birding spot. And it looks so nice here. I came this morning at around 5:30. I've been sitting in that bay over there all morning and testing out the new settings, the settings I've set for my Z8. So I've made some changes based on the input from you guys, and I've tried them all out. And I think let's just go back in time to this morning and see what I found out. This is quite the place, guys. Two meters in front of me here. That's quite something. It's resting there. And the autofocus system switches back from the body and the eye, depending on if the bird has its eye closed or not. So I've been sitting here for a while. There's two sanderlings just in, or there've been even more, but there's two sanderlings just in front of me, and I've been able to test out the different autofocus systems. I have to say 9 out of 10 times the auto area AF works perfectly. It captures the birds fast, and if there are many, you can switch between which bird you wanna see just by using either the right and left here on the dial or the joystick. You can switch between, if you have 2 birds or 3 birds, you can switch between them if the autofocus system picks up all of them. And I had a sandpiper back here, and it was so small in the picture, the auto system wasn't able to pick it up. So what I did, I went to point focus, and it immediately captured it when I just placed that little square on top of the bird. And it stuck with it, so I could film it, I could take pictures of it, even though it was in the not a pretty picture because there was a lot of stuff going on around it, but the autofocus system kept it perfectly. So that's so impressive. That was really impressive. And I've also been filming and photographing birds in flight. That's a new one for me. So autofocus, auto area AF against the sky and against this really messy background, absolutely no problem. More than 9 out of 10 times. Just captures the birds perfectly. And if I'm able to keep it, you know, kind of still in the viewfinder, it's really impressive. Of course, it struggles. When I took these Mallards, there were a flock of, I don't know, 100, 200. And of course, when that's going on, it's a bit busy for the autofocus system, and it just jumps around from one to another. And that's, I guess that's fine. I'll have a look at the footage afterwards. But mainly, I think they're all on the more or less on the same focus plane, so that should be all right. And I can understand that we can't pick up 100 birds simultaneously. And I also set up another autofocus option for myself, so I've added a customized rectangle, so I can pick that as well. And that gives me a smaller square in the middle of the picture, where autofocus system works within that. And that's been really helpful, especially when picking up the subject the first time. Sometimes I also use the manual focus ring, just because it's really fast, and I can see that it's just a matter of moving the focus plane a meter or something. So really fast, and when I do that, the autofocus system picks up the birds immediately after that. Two really big flocks with lapwings. Wow! Did you see that? Did you see that? Really big flocks of lapwings. That was so amazing. Oh, I got the chills. So I have a sanderling. Bright and nice. There's a drop of water dripping from its beak. And the autofocus system is picking up the eye 100% now. I'm hand holding, I'm running it at 50 frames per second. It's struggling a little bit here now. Let's try another different focus mode. There we are, point. Of course, picks it up, and there's the box that I made. Also works fine. And then right there, okay, there's disappears there. Okay, this is a little bit of a challenge. Slippery and round rocks. So one of the things that I talked about in the last video was the EVF and the different things that I thought was pretty bad with it. One of those things was that the viewfinder got brighter and darker depending on the exposure. So I got a tip that the viewfinder is set to auto, and if you set it to, there's a scale between 0 and +2 and -2. I set it to 0, and all that problem is gone now. So thanks for that. That was a really helpful tip. Also been, I had some comments about setting the screen to 120 frames per second. It's definitely set to 120 frames per second, and it's far better than 60, which is the default. It should really be set to 120 from the beginning, in my opinion, but it might be something about saving energy. So from the last time, you know, I had the function button 1 set up to the to swap between the different autofocus modes. So I had the single point, I had the 3D, and then I had the auto area autofocus. And now I actually added one, so I've added a custom box, wide rectangle, and it's added to both the photo menu and the video menu. By some reason, it's much smaller on the video menu. I can't make it larger, so it just covers a little bit in the center, and on photo it's wide as I thought it should be. I don't know why. We need to check out that. But I've tried it now on the beach, so when the auto area struggles, if there's a lot of rocks or things in the way, I just hit the button twice and I get into this box, and I just have to keep the birds within this box, and my experience from this morning is that that works really nice. So it picks up the birds really fast when I'm in switch to that mode. One of the big things that I've changed since last is when I'm in video mode, I've changed the function button 2 to go to top of my menu. So what I put in my menu is the video file type. So that when I do that, I can go in and quickly change, for instance, from H265 to one of the ProRes or whatever I want to change it to. And then when I go back from there, in menu item 2, I've put the frame rate, frame size menu item. So then I can go in and change, for instance, the frame rate or the size if I want to go up to 8K or down to 1080p or whatever. So it's really accessible. I can do it all from the viewfinder. So it's really handy. I don't have to do anything else than look into the viewfinder, and by doing that, it's always accessible. So you would say, Frode, you're doing it all wrong. You should be on the I menu because you like that so much. Yes, I would like it to be available in the I menu because it's not. So you can't change. You can set the I menu to have video file type and frame size, frame rate in it. So that's why I'm using the function button 2, because normally I'd be happy to have it on the I menu. So maybe that will come in the future and we'll find another use for the function button 2. It's later in the day now, so I think maybe the bird life is a little bit slimmer, but I have another place I want to go, and that's actually out on that peninsula, and then I have to go another way around because there's a river coming out back here. So area focus works fine. Picks up even this high contrast weather, sunny weather. It picks up the rocks from time to time. Now it's solely focused on the bird. Should be an easy task though. I wanted to use the custom box, but it was outside there, because that's one of the problems with now I have the box and I put it keeping the bird in the box. So that's one of the problems, is when you move the box with the joystick, it's gonna be a completely different place the next time you use it. So this time it was way up in a corner of the viewfinder. What I wanted to check out was if by using the box. If it at all picks up rocks. Yes, it did. There it did. Picked up that rock beside it. Haven't registered the bird yet. Nope. Picked up that little thingy on the left side as well. And doesn't pick up the bird. There it picked it up. And there it picked up the stone behind it. What area is missing it? Point is of course hitting it there. My box is not finding it. Not even now. Not even there. I found it. And then subject finds it. Missed it. Finds it again. Finds it. Keeps it. And then other area, keeps the eye, and now it's gone, keeps the eye, found the eye, keeps the eye. So in that one there, the other area was clearly the best, clearly. So that was a really nice morning out with the seafront there. But firstly, it's with the viewfinder and the issues I had with the viewfinder. They're definitely still there when I'm panning. So the tip I got about turning off the automatic leveling on the brightness in the viewfinder really helped. So I had it on 0 for a little while. I actually turned it up to +1 now, and I think it's far better to use it now. I feel that the contrast is lower, so it's easier to detect the small details, and maybe I got used to it, but I think the colors are okay. They're not super impressive. It is still jaggy when I'm panning like that, but what I got to test this morning was following birds in flight. And I got several birds and several big flocks of birds, and there was no issue there. When I'm following birds and keep them in the viewfinder, it's really it's not perfect. It's definitely not as good as with the D500 with the optical viewfinder, but I think it's absolutely usable. I wish it was better. But it works very fine when I was panning with those bird flocks and birds. So I think we're going to say that that issue is solved and not an issue anymore. So with regards to different autofocus settings, this morning was an opportunity to kind of test the same things that I tested the first time, and to see if I get the same results. And I must say, it's as I also say in the video, 9 out of 10 times it's perfect. It works really, really well. Auto area AF, you could stick with that all day, all year, and be really happy. When it's challenging, I actually find that to just use the single focus point is the best, because if I use a box of some size, it's actually some of the same problem where it kind of jumps to a rock or to a stick or whatever, and not the bird, constantly on the birds. And when they're having that issue, there's really not much difference by using the auto area full and a little box. So my conclusion is I'm just going to remove that because it doesn't make too much of a difference. And also the subject tracking doesn't do anything for me. I think I don't think I'm going to use that either. It's supposed to track when you hit the focus. It's supposed to track the object, the subject, but I'm not impressed by that, at least in these conditions that I had on the beach this morning. So I'm gonna drop that for now. And there was a peculiar issue with that wide area, customized wide area AF that is set up for both video and photographing, where it's much larger in photo mode than in video mode. So I couldn't find any solutions to it, and I can't understand why it's has to be like that. So either it's error from Nikon, or if some of you guys know what the solution is, or explanation at least, please give me a comment on that. So that was it. Thank you guys for watching this follow-up to the previous video that I had. And remember, get out and enjoy nature.